Hey guys, today I want to talk a little bit about the actual anatomy of a strangle. People call it a choke. I don't think there's anything it's technically wrong, but as long as somebody knows what you're talking about, I don't see a reason to make a problem about it. When we're strangling people in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or anytime we're strangling people, what we are doing is we're cutting off the blood supply to their brain from their carotid arteries, which most people know. I want to get into some details that maybe people don't know about the kind of musculoskeletal anatomy, problems people run into. I think this will help a lot. I'll try to keep it as simple as I can. So when we're looking at the human neck, one of the problems we have, we can't see inside there. So I made some slides. The first thing I want to pull up, if I can figure out how to use this technology, is this guy right here. Boom. Is that going to get it? I think that'll get it. Let's see if that goes. Right? Nope. That's not the one. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So what we got here is the arterial system of the carotid arteries and kind of where they are, right? So you're looking, you can see the bottom jaw, the larynx, and then the collarbones down there. It's kind of elongated to make it easier to see everything that's going on. But this gives you an idea of the throat and the carotids, kind of their relationship together, right? Running right up alongside. I'd be lying if I said I had all the lingual artery, facial artery, all those memorized. I don't. But take a look at that and feel around your throat, right? And see if you can find those arteries. And if you're a human, and if you're a grappler, it's going to be real easy. I want you to pay very, very, very special attention to these muscles that you ended up having in your way, right? Those are your sternocleidomastoid muscles, right? They're these muscles. You see them? I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 20 years, right? Mine are big, overused. And those are the guys we're trying to avoid when we strangle someone, right? So I'm going to pull up the musculature for you. Stop sharing. I have no idea how to do this. This is the first time, so bear with me. Boom, boom. Where is that? It's in here somewhere. Close that. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, it's over here. I don't know if this is still doing all that weird screen share stuff that I had set up. Let's just do the overlay since I have it here. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I want you to take a look now. That's just those same arteries, right? And now if you see over on the right there, it's showing the sternocleidomastoids and all the other musculature, right? Now, it's not perfect, but that is a reasonably good matchup of how those sternocleidomastoids run over the carotid artery, okay? They protect the carotid sheath that the carotid artery is in. It's there so you don't accidentally choke to death all the time, right? It is the protection. This is my frame. People try to choke me and they say, man, you're really hard to choke. And I'm like, yeah, I'm framing, right? If you want to push through that frame and choke me, if you're a big, strong guy, you got good connection, you probably can, but it's not going to be efficient. Those muscles start running posteriorly to here, right? You can feel them on your neck, right? But those carotids run parallel. So we end up with this carotid exposure, this triangle right here. You can feel it. It's the soft part. If you're feeling muscle, you're not in the right place on your choke. Can you still get it? Yes. But we need to get into and up into the exposed carotid artery. because we shouldn't be having to use strength to choke them if we're using good placement, good connection, and good technique. Feeling is believing, seeing is believing, kind of. I am going to take my hands. You're just going to have to trust me on this part. I'm going to put right on where my carotid arteries are. I'm not even going to tense my neck up. I'm going to put light pressure and I'm going to hold it. Watch my face. Right? Nothing. I felt a little something. You have to believe me, especially around the backs of my eyes. My brain going, hey, we're not getting the blood, as much blood as we're used to. Right? If I come up to the triangle here, the carotid triangle, I'm going to put the same pressure a little, not up under my jaw so much, even though that's pretty good too, but like right, yeah, kind of up under my jaw. Find those carotids, and I'm just going to put the same pressure. Right, my face is turning purple, my eyes are bulging out, and I'm being strangled. And then the amount of pressure I'm using, if I was squeezing an egg, not an egg, eggs are kind of hard to break with a squeeze like that. If I was squeezing like, I don't know, what's a good thing to squeeze that's could break? Like a rice cake or something like that, or I wouldn't even touch the rice cake, right? I wouldn't even squish a banana. I don't think, like not even with the peel. Like it was no pressure that I was putting. Like I can just make that shape and kind of push it into my carotids barely, and we're going to start getting the same effect. The sternocleidomastoids, these big suckers right here, are the frame, right? So we need to get into that. You hear a lot of people talk about compression on a choke, how that somehow is supposed to choke somebody. Look at the physiology of the body, and you'll realize immediately that that is not the case. What is happening is we are pushing them in. We are pushing those carotid arteries into the wall that we've built. We are creating more pressure on the carotid arteries if we expose this. I don't choke like that. Sometimes do. Maybe a guillotine choke I will. But like with a rear naked choke or something else, it's so much easier to just lift. Just lift very slightly. I just shrug my shoulders. I lift. It creates that connection and does the same closure without having to fight, this battle of pushing their head down and forward against their erector spinae muscles. Now, shapes really, 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 really matter. Oh, I'm still sharing that picture. Sorry, let me stop that. Boom. Shapes matter in jiu-jitsu, and I say it all the time, right? If you are trying to put the wrong shaped thing into a hole, it's not going to be great, right? So these little suckers here for something like it's a triangle. It's a nice little triangle, nice little dip. You can feel it. I want to put something that shaped into it, and I have an app for that, right? I call it my submission bone. My friend Tim started that. It goes right in there. I mean, I can't get my own, but it goes right in. So I jam it up and in to that triangle, and it's closed, right? Now I just got to close the other one. If I have a gi on, I'm pulling that gi across where that is completely exposed. My other one's closing the other one, right? Think about your guillotines like that. Think about closing both carotid arteries. If I can block both your hands on in a low mount, I'll use my 2 fingers, close your carotid arteries, no pressure. I don't have to squeeze. If I'm having to squeeze hard, I am fighting your sternocleidomastoids. I need to readjust, reattack, right? Lifting the chin, right? Look at the chin there. If I close it, what happened to that carotid triangle, right? I don't think that's an accident either, right? Very hard to get into it. If you block my choke with your chin, you're going to lose your jaw, but that's a story for a different day. Take a look at the anatomy, feel it in practice, right? Grab a partner, right? Feel those muscles and how strong they really are. Right? I can squeeze the absolute crap at right where my sternocleidomastoids are, and it's never going to choke. I don't have a frame here though. Oh shit. Oh no, this is good. I'm going out. Yeah, I'm going out. Right. So, I hope that was good. I know it was a little long-winded and I was trying to figure out how to do the slides and stuff. But this is something I just kind of carry with me with my experience in anatomy. I've taken a lot of anatomy courses. I was personal trainer for a long time. I was a personal training manager, teaching personal trainers for a long time. And I'm just a fucking nerd. I love this shit. Knowing what you're doing, why you're doing it, what you're doing it to what the structures in your way are, where the frames are, what you're fighting. That's how we build efficiency. So get in there, look at the slide, rewind, whatever you need to do. If you have questions, leave it in the comments. If you think I'm fucking wrong, hey man, it's not the first time I've been wrong if I am wrong. So if you're like a neck surgeon or something and you're like, oh, you got this all wrong. I would be surprised to find out because generally theoretical knowledge, if your theoretical knowledge is wrong, it changes your experience. And I've choked a lot of people. Let me know, leave something in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful. I can do this with every single finishing mechanic of every single submission and explain in detail how it works, why it works, when it works. And I'd like to do that. And I might do it whether anybody asks for it at all. Anyway, have a good day. Strangle somebody. Call it a choke if you want. If you want to call these SC muscles or SCM muscles, or if you want to call them neck muscles, who gives a shit? All right.